new system. So the payroll details have to go to HMRC on or before the payroll's run, or the payroll's paid, basically. So you have on or before. So I mean that's kind of weird, because normally you would do it on or after. So that is quite a big reporting onus on us. We report using a full payment submission, an FPS. You might start to see some of these abbreviations appearing, so I just thought I'd explain what they were. So it's a full payment submission is where I'll assume month, because most of us are on monthly payrolls, so each month we'll just say to HMRC, this is what we're paying our employees. And don't forget, directors are employees as well. So it also affects all the directors on your 624 that you're on. Obviously it's the same amount, but we've still got to keep reporting every month. And then you have to make a PAYE payment. You can either do that monthly or quarterly at the moment, if you've got anything to pay, which you may not have. But even if you haven't got anything to pay, you still need to do an employer's payment summary, which is called an EPS. And that is basically to tell HMRC how much you owe. And as you probably know, if you don't pay on time, you get penalties, and they get worse the number of times that you pay late in 1 year. So, and this is a way they can really police that people are actually paying on time. So at the moment, you can imagine they only know once a year, but you're supposed to pay every month. So how do they really know whether you're late or not? So a lot of clients get some quite shirty letters saying, you owe us, PAYE, when in fact they don't. They've just forgotten to make the notification to say they don't. So and so that's okay, but now they really will know what the situation is, which is probably hopefully good. Hopefully less of those threatening letters. But who knows? P45s. There will be a paper or an electronic P45 prepared, but the only purpose of that is to give your current information to your new employer. So you take all the data that the old employer holds, and it's just a mechanism of passing it to the new employer. So that's its only function. It won't be submitted to HMRC at all. And HMRC will find out that you've moved employment from the next payroll, obviously because your new employer will submit the details about you. So that's how they'll be able to tell. So they'll have much better records, well, should do, of exactly where everyone is at any time, which should make things much, much easier. And we're going to need to give much fuller data to HMRC, because they really want to know who they're dealing with. So we're doing first name, middle name, surname, full address and postcode, date of birth, national insurance number, and if you haven't got the national insurance number, passport number, so that they can check that you have got authority to work in the country. So they're also helping the borders agency as well with legal immigrants. Fantastic. And they also want to know the hours worked by employee. Not exactly. There's sort of fairly loose bandings. But the reason they need that is some of the credits, for example, working tax credit, you can only get, I think it's something like if you work 16 or 20 or something hours per week. And so that's why they're asking for the banding of hours worked. So quite a lot more information going to HMRC, which you can see will help them quite a lot. How do we propose to sort this out? To be honest, we are hoping to handle most of it for you. So it shouldn't impact most of our clients a great deal. We kind of felt it was important that you all understood what it was about, how it works, but in practice we don't think it's going to impact you massively. We've invested obviously in good payroll software, which is totally RTI compliant, which minimises our work and your work. So hopefully, yeah, it shouldn't affect you too much. It does mean that every client will have to use some kind of payroll software. So for most of our clients anyway, do take the payroll service, but if you didn't, many of you probably won't be looking to take it because it then takes all the hassle away and you have to pay for payroll anyway, somewhere. What we're looking to do is to send out some kind of, well not exactly, it's not designed yet, but we'll sort of take the employee details we've got, we'll send them to you using some kind of secure transmission, and you'll say, yeah, that's right, or no, change this bit. So the addresses obviously are the things that are going to change quite a bit. So it'll just be get you to check, you say yes it's changed or no it hasn't, and then you submit it back to us. And then we will then prepare the payroll, we'll submit them back to you again so that you can check they're right, because obviously we don't want to submit them to HMRC without making sure, we've got everything right, you haven't suddenly paid a bonus, not told us, all that kind of thing. So we'll send that out to you, get that approved, when it comes back to us, we will then submit it to HMRC. So you'll have the data anyway, you'll need it to pay your employees, and we'll then submit it to HMRC. So it should work, hopefully, reasonably well. We're just looking at the moment with our IT suppliers to getting it as electronic as we can. so that, and as secure as we can. So using electronic submission and some kind of online approval that you literally just, sort of log in, type code, send it back to us. So it really is as easy to do and as quick to do as we can possibly make it while still being authorised and, and accurate. If there are any late amendments, those would get reported on the next payroll run. So it doesn't mean you can't ever change anything, because obviously things happen and people do forget to tell us, and even when they check the report, they forget. And then suddenly, wake up in the night, 2 nights later and go, oh, I've forgotten I paid so-and-so a bonus. So, that's fine, and that's no problem. We'll just submit it in the next report, and that is, catered for, which is good. We do expect that we will have to put our fees up very slightly to cope with this, but it will be a minimal cost that's going to go up, because I do want to keep it, as cost effective as we possibly can. I think we're around about £6.50 at the moment, so it may have to go up towards £10 a month, potentially on the directors only. But we will keep it as minimal as we can. And certainly at the moment it is competitive with buying software yourself, because they tend to be around about the £100, slightly above that, to get a license for software. So we're sort of looking to be, at least comparable, and obviously then you haven't got to run the software yourself. So that's where we're going. So to conclude then, we've got the new payroll system coming in April. We are expecting some initial teething problems with HMRC. The good thing is that they're saying, well, we're not going to penalise you. We're going to be nice about it. We're like, yeah, right, that's probably because most of it will be your fault. No, they never make mistakes. But anyway, there are no late filing penalties, but there are penalties for making a mistake. So you're not allowed just to submit rubbish. But as long as you submit it at some point and it's accurate. They said we'd rather you take a bit more time and get it right, so we're not going to fine this year. Next year, however, it'll be £100 for each month that each one is late. So effectively, if you had lots late, that adds up quite quickly to quite a lot of money. So they're also hoping it's going to be quite a money earner. And we're hoping we'll handle the majority of it for you. So really the impact shouldn't be that significant. So hopefully